It's July, what is it? It's July 5th. It's Friday. It's been almost 4 months since I last posted, um, and it's been just over 8.5 months since I was officially diagnosed. Um, I took a look at the previous uh, vlog that I had posted, and oh, I guess I wish I had been a little more diligent in posting contiguously, or um, every week or two. I promise I'll try to do that. But there's been a lot of changes since that last posting. I went into the next phase of treatment at Princess Margaret Hospital, which is um, 5 days a month of chemotherapy, and then uh, uh, either 21 or 28 days off. And then you do that cycle for a year. And every 2 months they give you an MRI. The first cycle went and came and went, and I was fine. The second cycle, they increased the dosage um, on the chemo, and I woke up in the middle of the night retching. And so I just lowered the dose. I did write to the nurse and asked her to tell the doctor, but apparently she didn't, or the doctor didn't get the note or whatever. And I started to get symptomatic again, and I started to freak out. I had done a lot of research on clinical trials for vaccines. Um, from the research that I had done on the internet, it seemed to me that this was the only thing that was going to save me. And the there were 160 trials for the type of brain cancer that I have, and of the 160, three were suitable. And so I began the process of trying to get the tumor slides to the three uh, clinical trial headquarters. Um, Only to be confronted with bureaucracy from both ends, from both sides. And I'm just so glad that that's behind me. And I now have uh, several slides in my possession, um, in the safe upstairs and in a safety deposit box. So next time I need them, and I need them quickly, I'll have access to them. Anyways, I started to get anxious because um, the treatment wasn't working. Um, I was feeling the symptoms were there. I was getting headaches and whatnot, and I was starting to getting panicky. And there was one option, or a couple of clinics in Mexico that I had sort of put to the bottom of the list of places that would be next on my list of places to go, because at the time, I was thinking that the clinical trials in the United States were more credible. But The bureaucracy that I was getting from the clinical trials led me to believe that I needed to do something and do something fast. And so through a series of calls with the patient care coordinator at a clinic hospital in Tijuana, I ended up going there first. It's a good thing I did as well, because 2 weeks after I got there, I got notice that I didn't have the marker or antigen that 2 of the trials were looking for. And the third trial, again, is bound down in bureaucracy. And so the start date has been pushed back. And it occurred to me at that point that what those trials were looking for was sort of a one-size-fits-all. They were looking for a common antigen or marker that would work on 90% of the glioblastoma population. And it occurred to me that I was actually getting better personalized care at this hospital because they were making the vaccines from my urine, from my blood, and once the tumor slide got there, from my tumor slide. And so it was being custom made with my DNA, and it couldn't get any better than that. And when I arrived, actually, it's where are we now? I was there for 6 weeks, and in the 6 weeks, at the end of the 6 weeks, my tumors, what was left of my tumors after the treatment in Toronto, had been reduced in the aggregate by 30%. And there's something called a cancer count. And when I checked in, it was 87. And when I checked out, it was 29. I have no idea what the number represents, other than it was explained to me in broken English. It's several variables in your system. And I continued to, I bought some vaccines to use in the 4-week break that I had at home, and some other supplements as well. And I used them religiously. And just before I went back for my first week of maintenance, because you go for 6 weeks, then you go home with a home care kit for 4, then you go down for like 4 or 5 days of maintenance. And 2 weeks before I went down for the first week of maintenance, I had an MRI done here in Toronto to confirm the results of the Mexican MRI. And my tumors had collectively shrunk by 50% by that point. And that was confirmed when I went back to Mexico. I had another MRI the second day I was there, and they put it at just past the 50% mark. And at the end of the week, my cancer count was down to 19. So there's some gaps I need to fill in here. Hold on.